The following animation has some content that has been used under fair use for educational and research purposes. All the videos featured are in the description, as well on the credits at the end of this video. By the way, this voice portrays 16-Bits. I mean myself, a character from Trackhead the Robo-Pony. To make this video easy to understand, there's a chart like this on your left side. It includes information such as the release year, the developer, the name in all the regions and the platforms for the game. Without further ado, let's go! Hey SilverStream, I'm glad we're making another Choro-Q EventLab playlist. But have you ever wondered about its video game evolution?
It may be a good idea, but there are already several videos with that topic.
Not like this one, obviously. A flip-a-clip animation talking about Choro-Q video game evolution. It all started in 1984 when Taito Corporation made Choro-Q for MSX devices. It's also known as Buggy in Spain. I want you to try it, but we need a monitor.
Sorry, girls. I've been looking for something here.
Bro, where's your other head?
My other head is in another garage.
Trackhead, could you make us a favor for something? The game consists on building two beetles in the proper order: chassis, engine, and body. Doing so will consider a win. Oops, what are you doing?
I'll try it again.
Sometimes timing is essential on the game. Also, remember the fact your car jumps higher if it's going full speed.
Chassis, engine, and body. Okay, seems easy enough when you get used to it.
Heads on a swivel, though. As you complete a level, it becomes harder and harder, and more bad guys spawns. Oh, look! Invincibility
Darn
points.
it!
Oh, never mind. You still have 2 lives, though. You're just a car away.
My bad.
You still have a life, though. Yes, now we can proceed with the next game. Years after the release of the MSX video game, the Japanese developer Tamsoft, using Takara's license, developed not this Choro-Q video game, but 3 Choro-Q games. Yet these games use the same graphic engine. Then we have Choro-Q 2, which is similar to Penny Races. It has new racetracks, but some of the fan favorites racetracks from the previous game returned for the Retro Grand Prix. My favorite so far is Big Dome, just because of its music. Choro-Q 3 is the definition of perfection in the trilogy. It's a masterpiece of a video game. The music, in fact, is way better than the previous 2 games. And cut! Whoa! What an abrupt sound cut! By the way, there are like 2 or 3 more games released in the same year. One notorious example worldwide is Penny Racers, as known as Choro-Q 64, released for Nintendo 64. And then we have Choro-Q Marine, Q-Boat, and Choro-Q Jet, Rainbow Wings, released in Japan.
How about Choro-Q Park?
Yes, very underrated, almost forgotten. It's almost impossible to emulate on Yabasan Shiro, even with the creator's Asustek computer. Let's move on to year 1999. Choro-Q Wonderful is indeed the very first open-world Choro-Q game that has a lineal story. I'd say this was the cradle of Road Trip Adventure, game which we will mention later in this video. But also during this year, Choro-Q 64-2 was also released in Japan, as well as Kanbado Choro-Q, also exclusive in Japan. The Game Boy ports are Choro-Q Hyper Customizable and Perfect Choro-Q. With that, we wrap the 20th century. Time for the PlayStation 2 era. What do I have here is the most sold console ever. The PlayStation 2 is where Gen Z childhood memories floods the user. Time to go high grade with Choro-Q IG. Barhouse FOXFER developed this game using Tamsoft's formula, a repetitive completion method without the city feature. New modes such as driving school was introduced. The goal is achieving any of performance to win the high-grade Grand Prix. Physics were okay, same with the engine sounds. Choro-Q Advance also was released in 2001. This game is pure gold, the biggest open-world racing game in the Choro-Q franchise. Thousands and thousands of kilometers or miles to explore. Also, the following Choro-Q game also was released in the same year in Japan. Shin Kanbado Choro-Q by Barnus Effect, known as Seek and Destroy. Kanbado Choro-Q Advanced Daisakusen. Boku no Choro-Q, a puzzle game by the way. Choro-Q Advance 2. Choro-Q High Grade 3, aka Gadget Racers in Europe. And Choro-Q for the GameCube, also named Gadget Racers in Europe.
What happened to the American release of High Grade 3, known as Road Trip Adventure Avenue?
Duh! Nice question. The North American releaser of High Grade 3 was cancelled for unknown reason.
This is the creator's favorite Choro-Q game. The reason behind the development of Forever Legend back in 2021. The glory days.
The definitive car PG of the High Grade series, hardly criticized by IGN. But hey, ever heard of Choro-Q Byun Racer? This game was also released in 2003, but as a standalone TV video game, and the existence of this game is beyond me. I cannot further explain it, but with a tiny clip from Fatalita. Choro-Q Works is completely different from the last 4 video games. Besides of having racing works, this game is focused on heavy work. Trackhead might love this game.
It's because I work on the rail logistics?
Yes.
Our final stop is Choro-Q Wii, known as Penny Racers Party Turbo Q Speedway. This was available for the Wii, and it's so much fun! This might be the final video game of the franchise, unless you realize the assistance of Choro-Q Grand Prix on Android. However, it requires AU Pass, is not available in the Play Store. With that, that's a wrap.